Yo, what up, everybody? How is everybody doing this afternoon? I'm coming here, guys, for a quick session this afternoon right here. Let me tell you first of all, guys, the internet will stop for some time, and then I will come back. Just okay, right on. I'm back. Okay. How is everybody doing? If you guys are joining me right now, let me know where you're joining from. And please let me know where you're joining from. And if you can share this link with somebody out there. I understand this afternoon, a lot of people might be at work working right now. It might not be a good time to do live stream. But this is just the a little bit beginning of what we can keep doing. In the evening at 9 p.m. later today. One of the biggest challenge that we have right here, if you do live stream like this time, a lot of people here in Africa, actually working at work and at different places, so it's kind of hard to, have people. But anyways, hopefully whoever that is going to be here, hopefully can have a simple conversation this afternoon, very short, very precise, because I'm not going to be able to stay here for a while and then I'll leave. But later tonight in the evening, I hope this conversation will go on. So let me know, guys, where you're watching from. And do me a favor. Please copy this link and share with somebody out there. Invite them to come right here. The first question that I would like to ask you guys today, how are you guys doing? How is everybody doing out there? Whatever you are, how are you guys feeling today? Okay, I'll start with myself. How do I feel? It's good to be honest. And I don't know if you guys have seen in our YouTube. First of all, let me show you something, guys. I don't know if you have seen on our YouTube, I shared something. I changed the cover photo of our YouTube channel, and this is kind of like the message of what we want to put out there for this year, 2022. Some of you heard a lot because I've been talking about this again and again and again, but it's very important to put it in writings like the way it is right now so that you guys may be able to see and to envision what we are thinking about. If you can look at this page right here, you see, you realize that I changed the cover photo of this page. And as I've always been saying, that this is 2022, the year of action, right? A year of action. And this year, what I've said is that we're going to be brutally honest with ourselves, honest with what's going on, honest with what we're doing wrong, honest with what to change, honest with one another. The same thing you guys can do me a favor, all right? You guys can be honest with me as well, right? As much as you want, brutally honest. This is what I'm talking about, brutally honest with one another. And I know when you become open, when you're honest with somebody, sometimes it doesn't feel good, right? Because they're gonna tell you things that you don't want to hear sometimes. All right, not everybody you want to hear people telling you the truth that, hey, you're doing A, B, C, D wrong. Oh, we are doing A, B, C, D wrong, right? You're not going to want to hear that sometime, but that's the only way for us to change. All right, for us to change. Before I came here and I say this, okay, let me say this, not the only way, but that is one of the ways for Africa to actually change from where it is to another place. I've mentioned this before, that we have a culture that you cannot say when something is wrong. For instance, if you're, you know that, oh, my parent has done something that is not right. You cannot talk anything to them, right? You cannot say anything to them, right? Because they're parents, and I understand that. But I think we should be in the point where we can actually have a conversation with respect, not a conversation of judging somebody, not a conversation of wanting to find who is the winner, who must win and who must lose. Whose fault is this? That should not be the base of our conversation. That should not be the foundation of our conversation. Our conversation, our honest, it should be the base of, we want to find a solution. We want to find a solution, and and we want to get better. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at Africa, I see the continent with so much potential, so many resources, so many young people, so many good leaders who potentially can be great leaders. So many, this continent, it has everything that you want. All right. For a long time, very long time, a lot of Africans right now, if you ask, okay, let me say, if you ask like maybe 80% of Africans, they will tell you this, that in Africa we have bad leadership. That's what they will tell you. But I want us to change that mindset, because that's not a good mindset. Everywhere in this world, there are bad leaders. Every single leader has something weakness, has something that it cannot be, like it's not good. You know what I'm saying? And let me just not talk about leaders, but every single one of us, we have something that is not good inside of us. Whether either people knows or they don't know, but we have something, and you know yourself. Even for those who don't realize and don't know themselves, they still have something inside of them. There's nobody. I'm trying to say that there's no one perfect in this world. So therefore, having an honest conversation will help us to improve, will help us to change, will help us to become the great version of ourselves. Because that's where I want to see Africa. That's where I want to see each and every single one of you. And I believe that's where you want me to see. So if there's a place, if there's a line, if there's something, you see that, Amika, I really think you're screwing up. I think this is not the right way. Guys, let's be brutally honest with each other in 2022. It's very, very, very important. Silence, okay, let me say this. Silence, sometimes it can be an answer, but not all the time. And at this point in 2022, I have chosen to speak, because there will be a time to not to speak, but this will be the time to speak. And not just to speak indirect, but to speak direct. So we have to be brutally honest with one another. And we're focusing on love in action, and peace in action, and unity in action. And we're focusing on how we can do that, how we can actually do that and have love, peace, and unity in action. All right. So without wasting time, guys, let me raise a word of prayer, and then we'll begin with our today's topic, which says justice or peace. There's these two things that, okay, I know you guys, every single one of you who are joining me right now, I know you have different points, you have different, opinions, but I want to say this. In today's topic, I want you to choose one. I don't want to see the answer that says, no, love and justice and peace, they have to go hand in hand. I want to put you guys in a situation where you have to decide whether to go with justice or to go with peace. I want to put you in that direction. And I know some people, they will say, you know what? There is no peace without justice. There are people that will say, oh, there's no justice without peace. Where there is justice, there is peace. We have people who say that. Where there's a peace, there's justice. We have people say that. We have people that say that, no, you know what? These two things, you cannot separate them. We need all of them together, justice and peace. But today's topic, I want you to focus on one. For you, I'm asking for you. Don't look at anybody else. Look at yourself deep within. When you're talking about justice and peace, which one is your choice? Which one do you choose? Are you choosing justice? Why? Are you choosing peace? Why? Don't choose both. I want you to choose one. Okay, this is really good discussion. I think it's gonna be really good discussion. So I'm just gonna pray a little bit, and then I'll I'll share with you guys. Pai is telling me that I'm early today, brother. The 9 p.m. session is constant there, but this is just a quick session in the afternoon. You know, we might have a lot of these. Let me raise a word of prayer a little bit, and then I'll invite you guys to come and to start sharing your points. God, I thank you for this afternoon. We're gonna talk about justice and peace. We know that the true justice, the true peace, the real come from you. But today in this discussion, we want you guys to be here with us, help us to think, help us to understand one another, and help us to find the bottom of our issues that we are going through in Africa. We give you praise, we give you honor. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys. Okay, just give me one moment. I need to turn on the air conditioner. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So hot. All right, guys. So I want you guys to be in a position. Okay, this is what I said yesterday. Okay, I posted this yesterday on Twitter. Before I bring you guys in, all right, I need to show you guys this. Not yesterday, today. It's a discussion that's going on Twitter. I tweeted something, and I want to show you guys so that you may get an idea of where I'm coming from. All right, I tweeted something. This one. Okay, 507 people vote. Look at this. Justice. Let me increase this a little bit so that you guys may see it clearly. Okay, I posted this on Twitter. And because I want to hear the opinion, I want to hear the ideas, I want to hear what people think. So justice versus peace, right? Justice and peace is always tricky and complex. Sometimes you have to trade one over the other. I say sometime. That's the key point. Sometimes you have to trade one over the other. If you ask me to choose one, you all know my answer. I don't know if everybody knows. What is yours? Choose one before you judge anyone. So I did this little bit of research, right, on my Twitter. And I did on YouTube as well. I'll check on YouTube as well. So on Twitter, according to Twitter analytics, 508 people vote. All right? 508 people vote. And they're still voting because I made this available for 7 days. All right? So you can still go there and vote and also leave a comment because I'm really doing a research. I really want to find, I really want to find the bottom of this, right? So hear me out. 508 people vote. 52% of people who voted, they say justice. And 48% of people, they say peace. 508 people vote, guys. 52, their answer, their choice is justice above peace. So they say, for me, what is important is justice and not peace. Because this is the basic foundation of this question, all right? And 48%, guys, I want you to think before you answer, because a lot of people, I read the comment and then I see a lot of people that are thinking about a certain situation. Guys, I know there's a situation going on right now in Ethiopia. I know that, but I don't want you to be influenced by any situation. I want you to think for you, right? I want you to think like what is important to you. Is it justice for you or is it peace for you? If you are in the situation, you got in the situation, it's gotten worse, and you have to choose between justice and peace, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose justice or are you going to choose peace? That's the question, right? All right, there's so many comments. Later on, after you guys sharing, I'll go there and read these questions for you. But also, I want to show you what I shared on YouTube. Okay, this is very important. I want to show you guys what I shared on YouTube because I asked the same question on YouTube here in the community. You can go and check it out. Right here. Here I can't see. Okay. So almost close. Okay, on YouTube, 442 people vote. All right, voted. 442 people voted. Remember on Twitter, 508. 62% of people who voted, 62%, guys, they say, for me, I choose justice over peace. Justice over peace. And 38 people who voted, they choose peace. And there are also comments here. So if we get some time, I'll go there to read these comments as well to get bottom to this, to get bottom of this, all right? Okay, so let me come back to you guys. Let me read this again. My friend once told me, justice or peace is always tricky and complex. Sometimes you have to trade one over the other. If you are, okay, anyway, so I want you guys to choose one and with your points. Because if you ask me, I'll tell you this. Without peace, there's no justice. Without justice, there's no peace. Or I'll tell you vice versa. You can think about it and manipulate and do all those kind of things, and then you get back to that. But I want to hear your question. All right? So this is a really good question. Theo is saying the question is, what is justice? That's really, really good question. There's so many different, and I was checking out the definition of justice, the definition of peace. There's so many different answers to that. Let me say this. Let me answer that first, all right? Because I had to write down a little bit. And let me tell you that I didn't want to answer that, but let me do that before I bring you in and start sharing this question, all right? So the meaning of justice. Justice, okay, this is just according to Google Dictionary, all right? They say this. Justice, just behavior or treatment. The second one is say a judge. This is another, but let me find a good one, all right? This is gonna be a good discussion, man. Okay, the meaning of justice, this according to Cambridge Dictionary, say fairness in the way people are dealt with. That's a simple meaning. Fairness in the way people are dealt with. All right? Fairness, guys, justice, it means fairness in the way people are dealt with. There might be so many other meanings, but let me stick with that one. Another one is the system of laws in a country that judges and punishes people. A judge in a local, that's another thing. But I want to go with the first one, fairness in the way people are dealt with, because this it goes to all levels, not just country level, but even in the personal level. All right, that is justice. I wanna see here peace, and then I'll give you another definition of peace that I really like. All right, okay. Fairness in the way people are dealt with, that's justice. Peace, it says, the meaning of peace. Let me use the same dictionary. All right, peace in Cambridge English Dictionary. It says freedom from war and violence, especially when people live and work together happily without disagreements. No, I kind of disagree with this definition. No. Where people live and work together happily without disagreements, I disagree with that. That is not meaning of peace for me. Meaning of peace for me, people that can still have disagreement and still have peace. Right? Because we cannot live in a perfect world where we don't have disagreement. So I'm taking that down. I don't agree with that. Let's see the first one. Another one. Another one said the state of not being interrupted or annoyed by worry, problem, noise, or unwanted action. No, this is not the meaning of peace. Okay, I have different meaning of peace, maybe. All right, but let me read for you another meaning of peace that, I kind of found that is very interesting. Somebody said this, the meaning of peace. Somebody said it. Peace is the process of decreasing violence and increasing justice. Okay, guys, hear me out. I've seen so many definitions of peace online, but I felt this one is really interesting. It say it's the process of decreasing violence and increasing justice. This was mentioned by Ernest Otto something. Yeah, that's the guy. The name is quite difficult, but it's the process of decreasing violence and increasing justice. That is the meaning of peace. Decreasing violence and increasing justice. So it's a process, right? It's not like perfect peace, but it's a process that we're decreasing violence one at a time and we are increasing justice. And justice, the meaning of justice, again, to remind you, fairness in the way people are dealt with. Fairness in the way people are dealt with. All right. So in all those definitions, I want you guys to pick and choose one. Without judging anyone, without thinking of any situation, I just want to know the clear answer for you. What do you choose between justice and peace, and why? I'm dropping the link in the comment section, and you guys can come and share your opinion. Anyone who comes here, you answer that question, and then I'll let you go. Somebody else will come, answer that question, then I'll let you go. All right? This is good. So for the time being, as I'm waiting someone to come, let me continue to read comments here. Theo is asking really good questions here. Can people even agree when justice is served? That's a good question. That's a good question. M. McCannon say, I don't get is complex. Peace is not attained without justice. That's McCannon's opinion. In his opinion, he says that peace is not attained without justice. For him, he thinks that you must have justice to have peace, that you cannot achieve peace without having justice. So in another way, what he's saying that the reason why we don't have peace in Africa, it's because we don't have justice. Because okay, let me say we don't have peace. That's too strong to say that we don't have peace in Africa. No, I'm taking it back, because words create. All right, we do have peace. All right, we do have peace. Maybe it's not in the level we want it to be, but we have to acknowledge that we do at certain point we do have peace. So in his opinion is that it is impossible to attain peace to have peace without having justice. That is opinion. All right. Let's see. Okay, I'll read just the comments that are relating to the topic. Then there is a question of when are people at peace? Is a person suffering in silence at peace? That's a good question. Guys, what do you think? Is a person suffering in silence at peace? That's a really good question. I don't know what's the cause of that suffering, but and also for that, it depends on how you define peace. Let me ask you a question, Theo. What is peace for you? What is peace for you, my brother? Okay. All right. So Susanna says, in Ethiopia, our core problem is having, so for her, she's taking things a little bit personal and she's bringing to Ethiopia. All right. They say in Ethiopia, our core problem is having an extreme form of ethnic federalism, which makes the system preferential to some and unjust to others. No justice, no peace. So again, the same thing that Mekanon shared. All right. Mekanon is saying again, we are living in a corrupt world. Political society, they have failed to practice justice. Okay? Do you think by twisting or doing wrong can ensure peace? That's a good question. Do you think by twisting or doing wrong can ensure peace? That's a really good question. All right? Let's see. Melese Nek, you say, justice is no answer because all Africa people are attacked by European government, so justice is to freely come to only good. All right, I'm having a hard time to understand that. Pi is saying peace to me means non-violent. That's very short and clear. That's the definition of peace to Pi. Okay, so Pi, let me ask you this. If for you peace, it means non-violent, what do you choose? Do you choose justice? Or do you choose peace? What do you choose if you are in a situation that you have to choose one? Pi, and let me know your definition of justice as well. All right. Okay, let me go a little bit back here. Hi. Okay. Okay. Would I say peace is more important if decided by a court or votes than or I think than country, or votes than country, right? So I say peace is more important. For how would they say? You say, for me, I choose peace. And the reason why is that if the peace is decided by the court or by votes, right? That's what he's saying. 3E is a peace is only possible when the other side replicates. Else, you're just letting people die. It's only possible. So I still don't get your answer. If it's peace or justice, 3E. Okay, Susanna, the same person says that justice comes first, then peace follows. That's for her. Very short and clear. Okay. Hi, Mika. When are you going to Ethiopia? Mulukeng. My member. First of all, shout out to all my members out there. You guys are amazing. Okay, Udese say peace is important, but if only desired by the two parties. You cannot just wish for peace, meanwhile your people are being killed. All right, let me rephrase my question again. You guys, you're thinking about something. You're thinking about the situation that is going on right now. I want you to get out of that situation. I want you to think in personal level. Yourself, what do you believe in? What comes first, peace or justice? What is important? What do you think is important for you? I want to start in a personal level, because let's say if I think justice is more important than peace, if that person thinks justice and we think, all of us deep inside of heart, we have this thing that we understand and we think this is important, then it's possible for us to achieve that. Right? But we know that we have different opinions. Some people, they will prefer peace over justice. Some people will prefer justice over peace. And it doesn't mean that they're saying this is bad. They're not saying that justice is bad or peace is bad. No. They just mean that, okay, for me, I think what is more important, because all these two things are very, very, very important. And what is the easy answer? The easy answer is saying that both are important. You have to choose both. That's the easy answer. But I want you to think. You wouldn't even think when you say both are important. I want you to think. And I know it's difficult because all these two things, they kind of like go hand in hand, and it's hard to choose. But I want you to think. I want us to think, to think beyond just imagining, to think beyond all the situations that are happening. For you, what is more important and why? All right? So that's very important. Oh, okay. So far you mentioned justice. All right. For you, justice is important. Jamaican Jackro, he say, my brother from Jamaica, he say, no justice, no peace. I've seen that a lot today. Okay. Very precise. I have somebody here in the chat. I want to hear the opinion. Again, Melissa Nake, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the show today. How are you, brother? Hello?
Hello?
Right? So that's very important. Yes. Do you mind to turn off your YouTube first? You can stop your YouTube first, then we can have conversation. All right. So again, guys. Okay, let me continue to read here. Ebenezer Tesfire, Ebenezer, you're there. I miss you, my brother. He said, there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. Hey, Ebenezer, you need to be a politician, man. You need to be a politician. That's I'm having a time to understand what you're saying, but let me read this again. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. Okay. I think I'm having an idea of what you're trying to say, but I still want to hear your answer. Okay, Susanna again, he says this. The whole idea of the creation of states and institutions is to bring about a just society. Otherwise, all will left and people will start handling issues by themselves. All right, so it's still like putting a fingerprint into that, right? Jimmy say everyone is crying out for peace. None is crying out for justice. But there will be no peace till men get equal rights and justice. All right. Okay, I see. Mekonon is saying again, who is going to guard your peace? That is rule of law, but by practicing justice. So for you, again, for you, in a personal level, for you, justice is important. Justice to be saved. And justice basically means you get what you deserve. Right? I read the meaning of justice, mean fairness in the way that people are dealt with. So when you're answering this question, don't think about in the government level. That's too big. I want to start in a personal level. We'll go there. But I want to start in the personal level. That means the fairness on how people are dealt with. And you are giving what you deserve. So let's say if you make Konone, you've made problem, right? Let's say you've beaten someone. I know you're not gonna beat anyone. You've beaten someone, and the justice is okay. If you beat someone to this extent, you're going to jail for 2 years. Justice, it means you will go to jail for those 2 years. That means justice, and that is your choice, right? I'm just trying to make a point that you get treatment for what you deserve. But I want you to think in different kind of angles. And that's why I need some people to come here and to share their opinions too. But no one is coming here. I know it's interesting topic. All right, let me see if I have new. Okay, this is good. This is good. Let me continue to read here. Okay. Peace is Theo. This is the definition of Theo, right? It says peace is freedom from negative physical, mental, emotion, and spiritual disturbances. Pi is a justice to me means ability to interpret the law or what is right and act accordingly. All right, that's pretty good. I agree with the area point. A just society is often a peaceful society. A just society is often a peaceful society. Okay. My question to that, to challenge you. So for those people who have been done just, are they having peace? Justice have been done, but do you think those people, they have peace? Not the other, no, those people who have been done justice to them. That's what I'm asking. Theo say the hungry and starving aren't at peace, even if they are themselves behaving peaceful. All right. Okay. I see your point. I agree with you to some extent, but also to some extent, I don't agree with you because I have seen people who are hungry, but still they have peace. Like they don't have food on their table, but they still have peace in the family. I'm talking about myself. When I was growing up, I've shared my episode about home, but things were pretty tough back in the days. Things were pretty tough. And my parents, they were telling me that sometimes they had to eat ugali, here we call ugali. They had to eat ugali with chumvi, with salt. But they still had peace. And until today, we're still standing. So I've seen very severe cases where people, they don't have food on the table. They have to, in Swahili, we say, napiga desh. To piga desh is like to skip the meal. They have to skip the meal because they don't have food. Not because they're fasting, but because they don't have food, but still they have peace. I've seen those cases. So that's why I'm saying I agree with you to some extent. That's why I'll tell you this, a lot of people from outside, they want to come and live in Africa. They want to move to Africa because they see people who don't have anything, but yet they have happiness. You go to the countryside, you'll see people, they don't have anything. They don't know television. They don't have whatever you can call. They don't even have water, clean water. They just take from the dam, right? But they're the happiest people you ever meet in the village. In the city, a lot of us, we are stressed. But when you go in the village, people are really peaceful. People, they are happy, even regardless that they don't have anything. So peace is really interesting thing. Sometimes peace is the justice we seek. All right, that's Theo's opinion. So honestly, I can say that for Theo, for you, you choose justice. I can see that. Okay, Alexander say justice. Let's look at in two aspects. One might say justice, it might not be justice for another. That's so true. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about in Pi's, comment. And then he say, peace is the state of mind to have security, to live without fear. Dang, Alexandra. All right. I love that. I love that definition. I love that definition. Peace is the state of mind. No, okay. I love this definition, guys. Let me put here. I love this definition about peace. All right. Deserve to be here. Just on my opinion, right? Say, peace is the state of mind to have security, to live without fear. That's peace. To have security, to live without fear. And yesterday, I tweeted something about fear because I want to show you guys this because we need to understand one thing about fear. All right. I tweeted that. And the reason why I tweeted this, it's because I was afraid. It's because I was afraid. And I wanted to tell myself something by writing something down. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to post this and share with the world. Okay, let me show you this, guys. This is what I said yesterday. I tweeted this. And I want to show here, guys. This is what I say. It's okay to lose to anything else but fear. We all have fear, but don't ever let fear win. Fear is the real enemy. Usiogope. Usiogope is a Swahili word which means do not fear or do not be afraid. I love the reason why I love this definition of peace. Peace is the state of mind. First of all, it's the state of mind for you personal. This is very personal level. So shout out to Alexandra. I wanted something very personal. It's the state of mind, To have security, to live without fear. So living without fear, it doesn't mean that fear doesn't exist. No, we all have fear. That's the truth. Each and every single one of us, we do have fear, but we make a choice to let the fear win or fear lose. So it's your decision to either say, okay, fear, win. It's going to win over you. It's your decision to say, fear, you're going to lose. I'm going to fight you back. It's your decision to let the fear win or lose. But all of us, we have fear. This is what I understand when I say to live without fear. To live without fear, it doesn't mean that fear doesn't exist or you're not going to be afraid. No. We are human beings. We'll always be afraid. We'll always have fear in us. But the main point is that fear is always fighting against our will. It's fighting against what is right. It's fighting against our confidence. It's fighting against what we were meant to achieve, we're meant to get. It's fighting against that. Letting the fear win is you submitting to fear and be like, oh, I'm afraid. I don't know if I can jump. I don't know if I can write this well. I don't know if I can speak well. I don't know if I can solve this. I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can pass exam. So letting the fear win, those are doubts we're having in our hearts, right? Doubts, it goes hand in hand in fear, by the way. So those are doubts we're having in our hearts, but eventually, if you come along, you fail your exam, this is what you will tell yourself. I felt that I was never going to pass. That feeling is not just a feeling. It's not just instinct. That feeling is doubt. And you cannot let doubt win because doubt and fear will always take you down. That's why I love this definition of peace. Let me write it down. This definition, I love it. This is another definition from Alexandra. Okay. By the way, I'll give you your credit as well. I always try to give credits to people. It's the right thing to do. It's the state of mind to have security, to live without fear. All right. State of mind to have security, to live without fear. That you say, okay, you know what? Bye-bye fear. You can't stand here. Look at where I'm standing. Bye-bye fear. You can't stand here. Look, I'm standing. Bye-bye fear. Do not be afraid. That's really good. State of mind, I cannot get enough of that. State of mind, that's why I say all those definitions of peace according to Cambridge dictionary, that says like the state of not being interrupted or annoyed by worry, problems, noise, or unwanted action. I don't agree with that. Freedom from war and violence, especially when people live and work together happily without disagreement. I don't agree with that. Peace always comes with a disagreement. Freedom, so I don't agree with those. But I agree with this point. I think your definition is better than even Cambridge definitions there. And the reason why is because just the fact that there's a disagreement doesn't mean that there's no peace. Just in fact that I don't have food on the table, it doesn't mean that there's no peace, right? It's a state of mind. It's about perception. Peace is about that. Okay, if I go spiritually, I'll say God is peace. God is peace, and he gives us peace. And his peace, it doesn't depend whether I have a lot of money or I don't have. I have a house or I don't have. I still don't have a house. I live with friends. They took me in. But I have peace. I have peace. So it doesn't matter whether you have money or you don't. You have a girlfriend or you don't. Well, I don't have a girlfriend, but I still have peace. I don't have money, but I still have peace. I don't have a house, but I still have peace. So you can think about that my definition of peace is not going to rely on the physical stuff because I don't have all of them, but yet I still have peace. That's why I think I love this definition here. All right, let's move on. Okay, Sedeke. Let me go to Sedeke. My brother Sedeke says, is there a justice in this world which is perfect, palatable, and accepted for everyone? If not, could striving for justice lead to more conflicts and less peace? This Sedeke, you know what is your problem, Sedeke? Your problem is you're too smart. That's your problem, Sedeke. You're too smart. All right. This is really good. First of all, is there really justice? This is what he's asking. So I can tell Sedeke again, Sedeke can be a really good politician, He's trying to be indirect, but you can see the answer is in what he's mentioning. So that even if I see this comment for the first time, I'll know where you're standing, right? So his question, first of all, is there justice? If I say that justice is what I want, is there really justice out there? Do we really have justice in our system? Do we really have justice even in ourselves? Are we really just? So in another word, he say that there is no perfect justice. That's what he's saying, right? If not, could striving for justice lead to more conflicts and less peace? Okay, that's another question. That's another question, another topic for another time, but let me write it down. This is a good question. This is a good question. Let me write here. Could striving for justice lead to more complex and less peace? Other guys, we'll carry on with this topic later today as well, because sometimes we have different audience. All right. So this is the question Sadeke is asking. Could striving for justice lead to more conflicts and less peace? If our choice is justice, and we know that we don't have justice, we don't have the perfect justice, we don't have justice, you know, like in that level, right? And that's not just in Africa, everywhere. All right. Black people in America, United States, they have been striving, they've been asking, they've been praying, they've been really asking for peace and for justice. And especially when it comes to black men. But we have seen a lot of black men being killed without justice being saved. And again, that's why this movement of Black Lives Matter came to existence, because they were like, you know what? Our lives matter and we want justice. We have seen what happened to Floyd Mayweather. Not Floyd Mayweather. George Floyd. You know, he was killed. And you all saw that video, you know. And that guy, people, they're asking for justice. That we want justice for him. And he went for a while until right now the justice is kind of be saved. But recently, George Floyd, George Floyd niece, he was shot. I mean, she was shot. She's young, but she was shot. Somebody was trying to shooting in the house and she was shot. She's just a little kid, man. A little kid. So where is justice? That's basically what Sadek is saying. And if we go to fight and striving for justice, aren't we going to lead more conflicts and less peace? That's what he's asking. All right. Eve. Let me go to Eve. Guys, let me drink some water, man. I need to drink some water. Oh. Oh, this is tough discussion. I feel my head is tired. But there, guys, you know, there's a link in the comment section. If you want to come and raise your voice, please come and raise your voice. All right. Let's see here. If you say, imagine if there's no justice, how can you have peace? Anything inflicted against you cause you to lose peace. If justice system taking care of it, you'll be out there in freedom. Otherwise, no peace. All right. So again, the same thing for Eve says that, you know what? We need justice. Because without justice, there's no peace. Is there really justice? That's the question Sadek is asking. Should we, this is a good question I'm getting right now. Should we strive for justice or strive for peace? What is important for you? All right. Concord say justice linked to the Western world law, that didn't mean peace will come. For example, I am in the UK. Even though there's justice, I don't think it's peaceful. I would say peace linked to freedom. All right. So Concord, his answer is peace, basically. I don't think it's Yeah, I will say peace linked to freedom. So basically saying peace. All right. All right. Eve, I don't know. You have your own topic going on. Please, let's come back to the topic. All right. Behailu, he says, peace is freedom from disturbance and tranquility. All right. The starving are not at peace. Oh, that's Theo. All right. All right, Theo. Maybe you have also personal experience for that. Is there justice where there's a poverty? I got another question, from Theo. Is there justice when there's poverty? Justice is just behavior or treatment. Tonight I say peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. All right. So Niger, he's just putting out there that, you know what, we need. So basically, your answer is justice. I see. I believe that peace is not the absence of conflict. I believe that with 100%, but the presence of justice. For that, I'm leaving it. I'm with you 50-50 for that. All right? I'm with you 50-50 for that. I agree that there must be peace even when there's no, conflicts and all this stuff. I agree with that. And going back to the definition of peace that I like, I show here again. A peace is the state of mind to have security, to live without fear. Okay. So if you guys love this definition, right? Or if you agree with this definition, and I mentioned the other definition area, somebody said peace is a process of decreasing violence and increasing justice. So yeah, basically, even for this increasing justice, it means, okay, the more you have justice, the more you have peace, because you're treating people fair. But the question is, what is fair for you? It might not be fair for me. Like if me and you, like I've done something wrong to you and I'm getting what I deserve, but I still feel like, I've done that wrong to you because you did something to me. When you look at the conflict between two people, between two governments, between two places, when you see conflict, there's always source of conflict. And the source of that conflict, I want to say this, it always on both sides. Why both sides? Because somebody, of course, obviously somebody starts something, but when you go deep within, you find out that, okay, this person started this because of something. And I can elevate that conflict to another level, depend on how I respond to that. So how I respond to whatever that happens to me also can elevate that conflict to another level. So when you look at the conflict, it's very easy when you look at the conflict to choose side and to pick side. And that's why that's one of the things that we always say, that let's try our best not to pick side. It's easy to pick side because it's much easier to point fingers at somebody. But when you stand at the middle and you're trying to demonstrate, you're trying to look deep within, like, okay, what is the source here? What happened? All right, you started to throw a punch on this person, but why you threw your punch on him? Or maybe this guy, he said something bad to you and you threw a punch. So when you go deep down to that conflict that you have, you'll always find both sides are responsible. One person maybe threw a punch first, but one person say something first. One person like did something first, but another person caused that to happen. You know what I'm saying? You'll always find both sides. You understand what I'm saying? And so seeing that, if my, I'm trying to think with me. So if my decision is what I'm saying, that, okay, I need justice in order to have peace. There's no justice, there's no peace. But personally, I don't think that when you have justice, you have peace. I don't think that. Like, that's not what I think. Because I still think that having peace, if I say having peace is a state of mind to have security and to live without fear, that's really deep. But let me go just to the normal one, right? Peace, whatever peace you can call, because for each and every single one of us, we have different kind of peace. I might not be at peace if I go to I should find something else. I don't want to mention sensitive things that are going on right now. Um, okay, let me give this example. When I was a little kid, we were fighting with my brother. Me and my brother, we fought a lot when we were little kids, right? And this is very personal level because this is how I want you guys to think, right? We fought a lot, and one day as we were fighting, somebody else came to help my brother. He held me like this, and I lost I basically fainted, right? I fainted, and when we went home, my mom, my dad, they punished my brother because of that. So they punished him because somebody else came to hold me like that, and I fainted. They're like, "What if your young brother died? Why he didn't do anything? When you saw that, why he didn't do anything?" But that conflict that started, it was not just my brother started to fight with me. No, all of us, we started. We had a lot of issues going on, and I'll say something, he'll say something. So all of us were responsible for what has happened. But at the end of the day, my brother, he was punished because he saw somebody else holding me like that, and he didn't do anything. Is that justice? Is that like in a personal level? So my brother was punished, and I was not punished, even though we together started a fight. So what do you think my brother felt at that moment? That, okay, because of this, your brother could have died, we need to punish you. What did he feel? Maybe he felt like, oh, he got what he deserved. This guy, he fainted. Yes, he got what he deserved because he said this to me. He did this and did that. And when we were doing that, I couldn't do anything because he got what he deserved. That's a thought of justice. For him thinking that, okay, this guy, he's done this to me and he's going to get this. This is for him. But after that punishment, like after my brother going through that punishment, do you think he was at peace? Lama says, in real world, justice did not relate with perfectness, but it is the fair distribution of basic needs in all aspects among those who have a common mean to share based on their resources. All right, that's really deep. That's really deep. Sub-Sahara said there's no such thing as 100% justice, but this is the way to go. Peace is fragile. Wow. I really wish I was talking to somebody here, you know? Don't get me wrong. I want to say on all these 2 points, I want to say this, that we need justice. And I know our systems are corrupted, and sometimes you don't see justice pretty much every day. You don't see that in so many small things, like, because it starts from the ground level, you know what I'm saying? Like people, they're starting here and then they go the way top, they do the same mistakes. But we don't see justice in our communities. I think in the definition of justice, there's a word fairness. We don't see that. Most oftentimes we see people with money getting away from a lot of things they're doing. Money solves everything. Oftentimes we think that way. Because if I have money, I'll get a girl. If I have money, I'll pay the police. If I have money, I'll pay this and that, and I'll buy this. Like, whatever I want, I can buy with money. Just tell me the numbers. Even they say that, you know, everybody likes numbers. It just depends on how many zeros you have there. So you want to achieve something, put the numbers, add zeros in your money, and then you'll see something happening. So we are living in a society where a lot of things, our system is corrupted to the point where you can't really find justice even when you try to find, because someone is paying for that justice. But that doesn't mean that we should not stop fighting for justice. That does not mean that we should not keep fighting for justice. Justice is important. Peace is important. Very, very important. All these two things are really important. They go hand in hand. I'm trying not to answer this question first because I want to give you guys opportunity first. Hi Mika GP. Say hi Mika. My name is Gabi from I can see that I think that's friends, right? I am Ethiopian. International politics is complicated. We have to think of one Ethiopia, one Africa. Okay, JT say, bro, Jesus Christ crucified because of justice. There is no justice in this earth. Just comes in different forms in politics. All right. You know what I'm thinking? Okay, let me go ahead and answer this question. I'm thinking if I should answer this question too, or I should just stop there and maybe give my opinion later. Let me go to these answers that people replied on, answered on Twitter. Okay, let's go to the comments. Where are the comments? Okay, here. Okay, we have people here saying no justice, no peace. Somebody says you can't attain peace in the absence of law and order. Those who violated the law must be brought to justice. You can't have a lasting peace without justice. A society without justice will eventually dissolve to anarchy. Justice must be served first for the brutal act of terror and genocide on the... All right, this goes very personal. Depending on the case, Ethiopia current crisis involved so many local and foreign actors. We might choose forgiveness for the local to deal with the foreigners. Justice can be defined in different ways. If we continue killing more and create more victims, that doesn't give any justice for... All right, I'm having a hard time to understand that. I believe when a crime is committed, the penalty one peace of mind, peace, or the return to like things before the crime. The victim justice, but in normal day, everybody won. All right. One cannot exist without the other. There is no peace without justice and no justice without peace. All right. I say peace. I say this, some say, I say peace. The release of the old guard TPLF is not a big deal as people try to make it. Unless we Ethiopians solve our own major differences, there won't be a lasting peace. Justice at this moment will only exacerbate the situation and closes the door for discussion. Without justice, peace will never come. Bro, there will be no peace without justice. It's human nature. Peace can only be achieved or sustained through justice. Otherwise, the peace can only be temporary. People that didn't get justice sooner or later will have tendencies to retaliate. This is humanly nature. Justice first. Unless nothing can be assured, everybody can act in his way. All right. So there's so many comments here. I'm not going to be able to read everything. But let me stop here for now. Okay. We have someone here. Enat Photograph. Enat Photograph, thank you so much for joining the show. Welcome. Where are you calling from now? Hello? 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 Enat, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Maybe try to fix your mic and then you can come back. All right. Those are a couple. Those are a couple. Wow, there's so many comments here. Okay, I like something. We can't deal with the current crisis with our old experience and definition of justice. It's called evolution. We have to be completely open for new ideas, solution, ways if we want peace. That we all need. Our globe is changing. Why are we stuck with old ways of solving issues? All right, stay open. Somebody says, it's none of your business. Leave Ethiopia alone. All right, message delivered. We need justice so that we can have peace. That's how hard one farm can you have one without the other. Okay. How can you have one without the other? All right. That was Twitter. I can't read comments from YouTube, but well, guys, I think now you know what we'll be talking about. I'll talk to Ezra as well to see if there's anything was planned. If it was not planned for today, maybe we can carry on this discussion to continue to have some different opinions. Whether to choose justice or to choose peace. But I'm not gonna do fair if I won't answer you guys. My question. I won't give you an answer. So my personal answer, I think you guys, Swahili Nation or One Africa, we stand for love, peace, and unity. Those are our three basic foundation of, One Africa and Swahili Nation as well. But it doesn't mean that other things like discipline, right? All those other stuff that are out there, it doesn't mean that they're not important. They are very, very important. But when you dig down deep, you find that a lot of things are going through all these three things. So why I'm choosing peace? Peace, it goes all for me. For me, I would choose peace because peace, it goes all the way to personal level as well. When you're talking about justice, you mostly think about in the government level, right? For example, the situation that is happened in Ethiopia or in different countries out there. But it's going like when you think about justice, you're thinking about governing, you're thinking about courts, you're thinking about all those stuff. Those what comes to your mind. But when you think about peace, you go to a personal level. Like each and every single one of us need peace, right? When you see a broken family that doesn't have peace, when you see a broken family that doesn't have peace, you're not gonna have a strong or a united street or district, a country or a continent. It starts from a personal level. Like if I don't have peace with myself, a lot of us, we always say that, I need peace of mind to be able to do this. If you don't have peace within myself, I'm not going to be able to do anything. Okay, for instance, if I don't have a peace of mind to go to Ethiopia, I'm not going to go to Ethiopia. I'm just giving an example because I believe, me as a spiritual being, I believe that God speaks to me through peace of mind. Like when I have a peace of mind about something, I know that, this is a sign that I should go ahead and do this, no matter what are the consequences. But I have peace of mind, and I'll go ahead and do it. So when you're talking about peace, it touches everything from the personal level, like personal level, myself, right? From me, myself. Okay, let me say this. Myself, I'm a sinner, right? I'm not a saint. I'm not an angel. I'm a sinner. I do some, I do some mistakes. But all the time when I look at that, I deserve something. I deserve a wrath of God. Okay, you guys, all right. I deserve to pay for what I've done, right? But the reason why, I might have, I have peace, even though I know that I'm a sinner, it's because somebody paid the price for that, right? Somebody paid the price for all my wickedness and everything that I've done, and I am at peace. So, to be honest, like when I look at myself, there is no justice in my life because I am supposed to be punished by God for what I've done, and it's not happening, right? And I have peace even though I know that I'm wrong in so many ways. Okay, let's say God, you say, okay, that's too spiritual. I'm just talking about maybe in a personal level, my parents, people that love me, right? I've done a lot of mistakes, and they let me go. They let me go, right? They let me go. Justice was not saved, but I was at peace. Me as a victim, I was at peace because for some reason, that letting me go, it gave me ability to be able to become a better person, because I know that I don't deserve this. Deep inside my heart, I know that I don't deserve it, because I know that I'm weak and I know what I've done. So for some reason, I have peace, right? I have peace in my mind because I know that I don't deserve. So for me personally, if you give me all these two, first of all, I say all these two things are very important. But if you give me to choose one, I'll always choose peace above everything. Because without peace, I cannot speak, I cannot come here, I cannot go anywhere, like I cannot do anything without peace. Without peace in our countries, we'll all be inside, or we'll be trying to running away from our countries. There are people in Africa who are running away from their country because they simply think there's no peace. I've seen people running away from South Korea before. Not now because I'm not there, but before, because there are always all these threats, from North. So some people, they were even getting like ready to fly to Japan, to fly to China, to fly to that country, because there's no peace. So all the time, like how they'll live inside their house, their bag will be packed, ready to go. They'll be packed, ready to go. Like anytime, if right now I know that, okay, they're going to find something, I'm just taking my bag, I go. Because there's no peace. When there's no peace, guys, nothing. You cannot have you cannot think about advancing your technology, because you always be fighting. Fighting for what? Fighting for peace. Why people are fighting? People are fighting for peace. Guys, why people are fighting? They're fighting for peace. I'm taking my water here. Why people are fighting? I see my brother Behal. I'll put you in very soon. I just want to finish my point. Why people are fighting? People are fighting for peace. People, they want a peace. And I know sometimes people, they're fighting for justice, because that justice will serve them peace, as a lot of suggestions are going there. And I still think that you guys, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is not the question about which one is right and which one is wrong. It's not about that. This is the question of which one is your priority. You feel me? That's all about this question. It's not about which but it's about which one is your priority. All right. I have here Behail. Welcome.
Yes, brother.
Finally, I can hear somebody.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother. How are you today?
I'm fine.
All right. So I want you to answer that question. For you, is it justice or peace, and why?
Before I answer that, I'm happy to be in your live show. I always follow you, and I love what you do, and I love One Africa movement. And I'm from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, so I'm hoping to see you here when you come to Addis. And
finger crossed, man.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah. And I want to say it's on the condition of things, I don't want to choose directly peace or justice, According to the condition, you'll choose. For example, sometimes justice bring peace, and sometimes justice cannot bring peace because of, for example, let me put it with an example. And before I speak, I'm sorry for my English. We speak here in Amharic, so English is our second language. So my English might not be perfect.
No worries. It's good. You're good.
Okay. Thank you very much. And for example, if you want to bring justice by bringing someone to the law, and for example, it will be, the judgment will be a death penalty or penalty. So that might bring disturbance because of the supporter of that person or that group. So it will be a disturbance, or peace might not be bringing because of the justice, So if you get me, on the conditions of the situations, so you'll choose justice if the situations will allow you to bring peace. Let me put you an example. Right now in Ethiopia, if you heard, I don't know if you heard, there is a group of politicians that were released. They were leaders of TPLFs. I might say a father of TPLF who's released yesterday, and people might be angry because of that. Many people, most people that loves Ethiopians were angry because he was released, but the government defended himself, or Dr. Abiy defended himself. It might bring peace because of that. If the justice for some people might not be justice for other people, by releasing him, you might please people in the other side, and bring them to peace, So by not upholding justice here, you might bring peace. So if you get me, this is my idea.
I get it, and thank you for sharing. But I still want you to answer a question. In your personal level, in your opinion, it's not about like, okay, this is not good, this is good. But my question is, which one for you is your priority? If you are in a situation, for example, you just share the example of what happened in Ethiopia yesterday, you shared that. So I think, in that case, for what you're saying, what you're suggesting is that, it depends on the circumstance, right? In this circumstance, you might choose justice. In this circumstance, you might choose peace. And in the situation that happened in Ethiopia, you can clearly see that the choice, it was peace. Like they choose peace over justice, right? And that's why I want to ask you personally, and they stated why they decided to make that decision with different couple reasons. So for you personally, which one will be your priority? Like, I know it depends on the circumstance, but like I want to know for you personally, without thinking about all this situation that's going on. For you personally, which one is your priority?
Yeah, I might say, if you put it like that, I might say peace, because I'm religious person. So I want to choose peace because God is peace. So it might be a greater choice for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, peace is good, I think.
That's good. Okay. Let me ask you one more question, one more little question. So in the decision, because the reason why I don't really want to talk about that, because I don't want to interfere the internal affairs, of Ethiopia that's going on. I don't want to interfere that, and that's why my question I had to put in this way, so that for us we may try to discuss. For example, you gave an example. After giving that example, you gave me kind of like a channel for me to ask about this. So in the situation that has happened, it's clear that I mean, the government has chosen peace. But do you think, what do you think about, what are your feelings about that decision? I just want to ask you personally.
At the first time when I heard it live, breaking on the breaking news, I'm right away angry because of that. I'm the biggest supporter of Ethiopian Prime Minister, only Prime Minister, not the party, because he was a positive thinker of in that situation. So I was angry because of that the choice he made, and after that I realized it might bring peace. Sometimes you cannot expect things to be perfect, you know. You know, everything will not be on the table for him, you know. So he might decide that because of the foreign pressure, you know, if he choose different way, the country might not be surviving because of that, you know, because of many things, the economic conditions, the war, and many things. So you have to be in that situation, you know, to understand the decision. You know? We are in different atmosphere, in different mind states, and information we are getting when we are bombarded is different from him. You know, he's better. He has a better way to understand everything. You know, he has source, every source to understand better than us, the people. You know, so at the first time, you know, because of, let me, you know, every time when I hear you talk on this live show, and everybody talk in this live show, they might not say every detail of what happened on the November 3rd or November 4th of 2020, because it might hurt our country because of that. If you want, I won't share you now. We are in the better position than before, you know. Do you want me to share it?
Oh, no. No. I think for that is enough, because I have a lot of people are waiting here, and I ask you all these questions because you are the first person to come, and I wanted to give you to appreciate you for what you.
Thank you very much.
You can come later to talk more.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me this chance.
I appreciate my brother. Have a good day and peace out.
Okay. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Okay, I have my brother Mwenda Tezi here from Kenya. So Mwenda Tezi, how are you today?
Hey, hello, Miko.
Yes. I'm good.
Hello.
How are you? How is Kenya today?
Kenya is warm today. Nice, but it's peaceful today. To keep up with the topic.
Okay, I think you're already giving me hints of your answer. So, what is your answer and why? What is your priority between these two, if you had to choose?
Yeah, I was going to choose peace. If you look at the history of Africa, there have been leaders who chose peace, and there are those who wanted justice. And you can make your own conclusion on the leaders that wanted justice, how it went about with their countries, and the leaders that wanted peace. You can see how their countries are doing, because I feel like sometimes justice is feasible, but sometimes justice is just not feasible. It's not practical and you're just going to create more harm than good. So when it comes to a situation like that, I think peace is always the right option. Although you can also show that in some population, if there is a population within your country that is feeling like they are not getting justice, you know, that they are like a dry firewood, like fuel waiting to be ignited. You know, that is also something you can even see in our northern neighbors in Ethiopia, that yes, peace is good, but sometimes even I think there is I think it's a spectrum. There is a spectrum where you don't go extreme in both ends. You stay somewhere in the middle where there is some sort of justice, and they also you can choose some sort of peace, because you have to acknowledge that if people are not feeling like they're getting justice, they're easily weaponized. They're just waiting there to be weaponized by somebody. I think that's my point today.
So you are with peace, right?
always peace is there are so many advantages to peace that justice cannot sometimes justice cannot bring this advantage, like business environment, like just people, like you can talk about even Tanzania that has never, it has just been seeing peace. You can see the advantages if you compare to countries that have always been about justice. So that was my point.
You're a very sneaky guy, because you're hitting where it hurts. Like, to be honest, like, sometimes when you have people, they think different, but when you look at, Tanzania, it's not always just. That's not what you see in a lot of cases. But people are living, you can see that there's a peace in the country. And I'm not talking about each personal peace, because I don't know everybody, but in the country, you can see that there's a lot of peace, and it's something to thank God for. That was a good point. All right, I'll bring in Afriscrop TV right here. I think this is the first time I'm seeing my brother, and you guys, you can wait there, because just in case if anyone just in case if anyone has a question for you, can ask you. So don't leave right away here. Afriscrop TV, my brother, what's up?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Hey, first of all, it's good to see you, man. You're handsome.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really enjoying the topic.
Where are you right now? Where are you from, by the way?
So I'm in Ghana. This is my second time, actually. Yeah, this is my second time calling in.
But right now you call with video. Did you call with the video first time too?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, because I don't remember. I don't remember your face, but I remember your name because I've seen it a lot of time here. Thank you for your support. And what is your answer to that?
I actually like the topic peace and justice, right? So one thing I know, peace before we can achieve peace and justice, there is one we have to know the fundamental core qualities or values that we need to have as people. And one of them is like when you have a community, or when you have a society where there is crime, corruption, and let me just say instability in general, violence also, broke out easily, and people can't people have equal access to justice. We are never going to achieve peace, right? So one thing to do is, if wherever there is a problem, I'm seeing Ethiopia emerge often. I think the issue of Ethiopia is because there is inequality. Okay, people want to be heard. People want to, people are fed up, and when you are fed up with government in general, it is true that things like this can emerge. And most of the time, we actually in Africa, when we have these inequality issues emerging, we classify it as what tribal issues, right? But it's often inequality. People also want access to resources. They want to seek justice, and all of that. I think we shouldn't take it for granted. That's all I want to say for that. I feel
hello?
like. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
What's going on? Oh, you guys can hear us outside. All right. I can't hear myself. What's going on?
You might need to reload the browser.
Okay. So did you share everything, my brother?
Yes, I've shared whatever I wanted to say. But if you have any question, I can. I would like to hear it.
All right. All right. So I appreciate. I didn't hear anything you said, but I'm glad because people that heard what you were saying. I think I was having a little bit problem here with the connection. But I'll let you go for now. But you can still be there. Maybe someone has a question for you. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate. Okay. We have Niger, my brother Niger, from Nigeria, but now he's in the UK. Niger, what's up, brother?
Hi. How are you? Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. You can't hear me too?
Issue.
Yeah, it's yours. It's on your end. Somehow your speaker is not working.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. So what you can do is you can answer that question between justice and peace. What is your choice? And as you're answering, I'll just refresh my page, and so I'll give you time to speak as I'm refreshing my page.
All right. Yeah, thank you. That's a tricky one now because it's hard to pin which one should come first. But peace often is not as simple as just accepting a state of injustice. It's often because people feel like if they pursue justice and it results in conflict, the conflict often leads to even more injustice. So if you want peace, if you want justice, sometimes if the price is too high, and if the price is even more injustice, then you have to think twice. And I think sometimes people forget that there's a balance. You have to, there's a balance between both. But justice is very important because without justice, your system will become a barbaric system eventually because there's not going to be accountability. We know human beings, a lot of human beings are accountable, but some of them, you just need 5% of them to do silly things. And if they are not made accountable, then the others will be like, why should I follow the rules then?
That's true.
The system goes down. So for me, it's a spectrum. I'm not going to say justice or peace is a dangerous term. You are setting a trap for people. Justice or peace is a dangerous term because sometimes when you are seeking justice, it leads to far more injustice. Because look at all the conflicts that occur, all the innocents that have died. Who has given them justice? Because you feel that if you elites have been marginalized from government. You see what I mean? So when some people accept peace, it's not because they're just accepting peace, they're also taking into account the injustice that is going to result for them chasing their own justice. So you have to do that kind of calculation and say, okay, where is the balance? Because there is objective justice and there is justice that you think you deserve. Because yeah, you might deserve to get that ministerial position, but in the process of getting that ministerial position, chasing you, start a war, and it costs other people their lives. Who is going to give them justice? Are you going to go to jail after they hand you this? So it's a balance. I think it's just a balancing thing. I think this is why leadership is very, very important. Leaders have this role that we as Africans have forgotten how important it is. Even in the Bible, does it not say that God actually appoints leaders? That's even in the Bible, he didn't even care. He didn't even say whether it's a good or bad leader. He just said God appoints them because they are instruments of society. And hence why when they are deciding stuff, they weigh these things heavy. It's very, very weighty. How many people makes a decision based on, oh, if we go this direction, thousands of people will die. If we go the other direction, oh, thousands of people will still die. But we'll choose the number of thousands that die. It's not that simple. And this is the discussion you're having, justice or peace. And that's what leaders have to contend with. Look at Nigeria now. They arrested Kanu. The guy broke the law. But if you decide to prosecute him and maybe punish him the way he deserves by the law, a lot of people could die. Some people will calculate that, yes, some people will die, but it's better those people die than create another Kanu. You see what I mean? Because this is why some leaders, when they execute some people, you see that societies like, why did you kill them? And they will go to protest and all kinds of stuff. But after the process, the stuff dies down. What they forget is that if that person is not tried for the crime, some other person will do it again, some other person will do it again, and some other person will do it again. So you can't win either way. So you see how leaders think. It's a very, very tough business. And so I can't choose one side. It depends on the case. I must say I agree with Tezzy today, though. He did say that it's in a spectrum. No. If I commit myself to one side, I will be executed the next day. It doesn't work like that. Justice. I want justice.
Okay, no, you put it, Ninja, you put it very well. All right, you put it very well. And Sadeki also he mentioned here that perfectly put, Ninja. He said this: if the price of justice is too high, you choose peace. Likely,
yes.
Likely the other side as well, right?
Yeah.
So, so for you, in order to choose this, there must be a situation in front of you, and then you calculate the risk. That I think, okay, this is high, I'm gonna go with this. Okay, this is high. So that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yes. When we talk about this, it's often on a higher level. But most of the state operations and traffic wardens and accidents, robberies, those ones clear cut. Justice has to prevail. But when you go on a higher level that affects societies, often it's very easy to forget that you're affecting thousands of people. And you try to treat it like it's a car accident or a burglary. No, it's not. A burglary, when you charge that person, imprison them, it's a couple of people that will feel the effects, and most of them will be like, he probably deserved it. But if you want to take down a top leader that has broken the law, maybe he embezzled resources from the country, but he decides to accuse the other side of tribalism because they too embezzled. And then the people behind him, thousands or maybe millions, feel like if you do this to him, it will be unjust and could lead to armed conflict. You have to calculate then. You have to calculate that if you take down this one guy, is it what is so? Yeah, is it what is so that no other person does this again? So that's why nations have to be strong. If nations are not strong, you can't do that, because when you do that, there will be anarchy and people are going to go out there, protest, maybe even start a fight, kill people. Then that justice serves no purpose. You've just killed more people. And then maybe this stuff will still repeat again. So you see how bad it's a basket case. It's a basket case.
That's pretty bad, because you might let this person go out do the same thing he did before, right? Or you might take him down, but still that rage in the community, they can still have somebody who can come and, do what, it was left there.
That's why the state needs to be strong. If the state is strong, you can cut, because it's very, very important to be able to punish wrongdoers. Accountability, this is what Africans are crying for all the time. But whenever a leader wants to do it, because there's tribal aspect to it, tinge to it, then there's always the risk of instability when it happens. So, but if the state is strong, they will be able to suppress any instability so that it doesn't result to even more injustice according to innocent people. And then in the future, some other person will not repeat the same crime again, and the state will move forward. And what I see here in the West is that the elites, they don't pay for anything that they've done. But now and again, they bring a sacrificial lamb to sacrifice to the people, to say, you know what, we too are held accountable for what we do. But you can count that with one hand over a period of 5 years. But you have to always be able to hold top people accountable. I don't know how many times in your country recently, do you know anybody in your country recently, a top official that was held accountable and put in prison in your country?
Yes. Yeah. He's the leader of the opposition.
He broke the law.
It's currently, yes, according to the statement, he's currently on the trial. For a while, he has been on the trial.
You see, maybe that's why your country is doing relatively well. Because like in Nigeria now, we are thinking, oh, should we put Kanu in jail or release him? Because, you know, the government is thinking, and in Nigeria, most of these people get away with it actually, because they feel like if they go after him, it's going to be a tribal thing and more people will die. And they asked the president recently that, should he be tried? He said, yes, he should be tried. But they said, but could you release him through a political solution? He said he's open to it because he understands. If you go and try him and convict him, maybe death penalty, God help us, more people will die. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. It's a tricky one. It's not something that you can pick one side without weighing the balance.
I'm still bringing you there. All right. I know you don't want to answer that, but let me ask you this. Let me change my question. So until right now, to Niger, I don't know how old are you, but until right now in your life as you're living, which side have you picked so far? Like I'm pretty sure you had both justice and peace in your lifetime, but I want to know in the past. That's in the past. That's not what's gonna happen in the future. Did you have a circumstance like that? And if you choose peace or you choose justice, like how many times, like the weight of your decision?
That's a tricky one. To be fair, most of the times I've chosen justice. Yeah, I've chosen justice most of the time. Because I always feel like, if anything, Africa needs good examples of justice occurring. And however, I also understand that when it gets to the messy level where it's not so clear cut, and because the person, you also have to take into account the person accusing the other person. You know, sometimes the other side has also committed crimes and done all kinds of, so then they are picking on some other person, say, okay, now we want to use you to set an example. So what that results in is that people don't see it as proper justice. You see, we say justice, but it's because people don't see it as justice. That's why they react. They feel like, oh, you all did it. Why are you come to pick on us now? So it has to start somewhere. And most of the time, I actually support justice because Africa needs order. And I believe that the state needs to be stronger to enforce justice because remember, it's not, especially if it's not a dictatorship, the next other party might come into office, they will try the other side too. They did something wrong. We have to have justice somewhere. We can't just be somebody comes and threatens the state. Like, do you know how many people have threatened to kill Buhari or have called Nigeria all kinds of names, and nobody goes after them? And yeah, these people say we are living in a dictatorship. Something that you cannot do in the UK. If you say anything close to that, if you threaten the Queen or the President of the United States, the FBI will be knocking at your door, or MI5. They will come and take you away. But these people, they say it online. They will bastardize their own country openly. You know, Nigerians don't mince words. So, and they expect to just get away with it constantly, like children that don't want to be accountable. And that's why I believe most of the time I always favor, go for justice, no matter the cost. Just go for it, because people sooner or later needs to be accountable for their actions.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, but Ebenezer, I'm coming to you. I'm sorry, wait for a while. So, but my other question, you always go for justice, but let me ask you this question. We have a broken system in our society, and we might choose justice, but still we might not get justice at the end and create even more chaos. Do you think that should be the reason for us, especially in this setting that we have in Africa, for us to go after peace? Because people, they feel like even if I go to court, I'm not going to get my justice. There is no justice at all. People, they don't believe in the system. They don't believe in the outcome, especially when you have a top leaders going to the courts. We all know how, result will be at the end of the day. They lost faith in the system. So going after justice, it feels like this is just another way out. of people like getting away from their issues. So do you think this is the case? And if that's the case, don't you think that in this case we have to go, with peace?
Man, the questions you're asking are really tough ones, and I have to admit that. You see, okay, yeah. When you go like nationally and even internationally, I think we always have to put peace at the top. As a matter of fact, anything that leads to armed conflict should be discouraged. That's one thing we have to keep an eye on. I agree with that one. But I also feel very strongly that we have to start setting an example with some powerful people. They need to start answering, because if they don't start becoming accountable, I don't know. I've said this before. It's not funny. It can get quite dangerous. The youths, the young people today, they are many. They are really many. They are growing and they are looking at the wall and saying, "What is wrong with these people? They are not accounting for anything. They are not being held accountable, and they might go crazy someday with all this nonsense going on." So I feel like justice needs to be there, but at the same time, internationally and nationally, there has to be peace. And this one is a tough one. I'm not even sure this is supposed to be a very quick session. This is a tough one. I don't even know where it ends. It's crazy.
We'll have extended conversation this later today, because as you say, this is a very long topic, and I think a lot of people have a lot to say. But I appreciate Niger. I love you, brother. I love how you articulate your point. So it's always a pleasure to have, these discussions with you, brother.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. All right. I have my brother Ebenezer here. Okay, my brother Ebenezer. I know you waited for so long. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, Mika. How are you?
I'm good. How is Ethiopia today?
Ethiopia is good. So far. I mean, my side. Ethiopia is good. I don't know the other sides. I haven't heard anything today.
I've seen your comment area, and I told you that I think you can make a really good politician, not in a negative side, but in a positive side, because of the way you answered my question. Like usually politicians, they don't give a straight answer. Like just like to Niger, what he gave it to me. But they explain to you in the way that you start asking yourself, wow, so what is the answer here? It seems like he's for justice. Also, it seems like he's for peace. What is what? Which is which? But anyways, for your case, if you would have to choose one, what would you go for and why?
It's actually I really wanted to come live and discuss, and then I stopped because I really have to think everything. And actually, thank you very much for raising this issue, because you actually made me, when you brought it up, first I was a bit frustrated, the political situation in Ethiopia right now, and I was a bit frustrated of some decisions made in Ethiopia, and frustrated plus confused. Kind of, I really was really confused, lost somewhere. That was why I gave you that comment. Like the reason I wrote that comment was because I was like, okay, I can't stop, what we started. I know that, and I know we're gonna make a huge difference and we're gonna make change. But there's at some point where you say like your life becomes at a darker spot and you just don't know what to do and what to say about where you are. So I stood there and I gave you that comment. I didn't mean it offensive, that.
So, no, yeah, no, exactly.
So,
Not at
yeah.
all.
I was a bit in a kind of frustration. That's why. So I started really thinking about peace. I started about really thinking about justice. But to put it in a simple way, I would choose, if you actually make me choose, I would choose peace. But I would rather keep it not peace or justice, but I would keep it as a restorative justice, because justice can be two kind. There's a retributive, where you have retribution, kind of vengeance or punishment, plus prosecutions of criminals. But when you go to restorative justice, that's dialogue based. So if it's restorative justice, I'm okay with it because the end result is peace. Because like you can look them up in Google and you can see it if you want what I mean by restorative and retributive justice. I'm into law things, so I really like reading about law, so that's where I grabbed them. So when you go to justice, I would say that justice is crucial for peace. I would choose peace, but still justice is crucial. But when you look at it from restorative and retributive perspective of justice, in retributive, people are scared of committing crimes because there is a punishment. For example, treason is punished by death or lifetime sentence and everything. Like related crimes are sentenced by some kind of occasions. But when you come to restorative justice, it's like crime is a violation of people and relationships. It creates like some kind of opportunity for you to sit and criticize and say, like, let's have a dialogue about this and let's change what you did. Let's apologize. Like you sit down, you apologize to the victims and compensate them through apologies. And one thing came to my head because for example, when you commit a crime against me, try to, let's say, you killed my brother or somebody killed my brother, and instead of him coming or him going to jail, I decided, you know what, I forgive you. That's I will have peace, because retributive justice is not going to give me peace. Because if you arrest somebody who murdered my brother or my sister, it's not going to change anything. He's not going to bring that person who died, or like it's not going to even give me a peace of mind, knowing that the person is in jail, but the person I call dear to me is already gone. That's not coming back. There is no going back from that one. But when you forgive someone, you will gain a complete peace of mind. That's peace. The first peace that comes is in the head, because the second you have a retributive justice system in your head, I'm not talking about the law or the justice system in general. When you have that retribution in your head, you're focused. That's where you start killing the person. You've already killed him. If I start retributing against you, if I start thinking bad things about you, that's where I already started killing the person. I think that's why the Bible says critically, don't get angry to your brother. Instead of don't when you get angry, the story of Adam and Cain, right? Cain was angry at Abel, and that led to murder. The first thing was the anger. So if you can let go of the anger, if we have emotional maturity, that's why I was thanking you earlier, because you really opened up my eyes. And I said, if I really forgive, now the blame is not on me. I've forgiven someone who has done wrong to me and to my close people, to the people that I know, to the people that I don't know, but who has committed a severe crime against them. But if I let go of that hate that I have inside me, if I let go of the retributive state of mind, and if I capture the restorative state of mind, I can restore peace. So I want you to see justice from those perspectives. Is it restorative justice or is it retributive justice? So if it's restorative justice, I would choose restorative justice. But if you ask me to choose and take side on the justice and peace, because it's kind of a dilemma between the two things, because justice has to be there for peace to be preserved. I understand that one. But if you can restore peace, that's much better, instead of impose peace, like pretending to be in a peaceful state of mind and not actually being in peace they're two different things. Being at peace is being at peace. You're forgiven. You haven't forgotten it, but you have forgiven. So forgiving, the one that is forgiving will have a complete peace of mind. The one that's forgiven actually has a lot of work to do because he
Of
has
course.
to forgive himself.
Yeah.
Like he has to forgive himself. He has to walk among those who forgave him. And that's the critical part. When they walk among those who forgave them, it's painful. Despite what you did, I
Yeah.
just forgave you. I just let go. You know what?
The
It's okay.
judgment
You made
start
a
there.
mistake. Yeah, that's where he starts. Okay, I've done
Yeah.
this, but they have taken this. It's really painful, by the way. I've actually seen it in my real life. A guy actually, when we were talking, he kind of was angry and he slapped me, and he was my senior in school, so I couldn't slap him back. So I walked away, and after that, I went to him and I said, "I'm sorry. I think I irritated you earlier, so you slapped me." And he started crying, and he said, "You just buried me alive." Because I was the one who was supposed to come to you and apologize to you because I was a bit emotional and I did
Yeah.
something that I regretted. But you came to me and you did not only just apologize to me, you actually made me feel ashamed of myself. So if you know, it depends on the personality of the person you're forgiving and giving a restorative justice. But the restorative justice is to restore peace.
Well, I
So if that person
appreciate
is,
Brother Ebenezer.
yeah.
Let me just say, you actually also open up my eyes. I appreciate that. I think restorative justice. I've never uh, heard about that before. To be honest with you, so you opened my eyes, and as you were saying, I was just going through my notes to read what is it, and somebody here goes say Rwanda is the good example of
Hmm.
restorative justice.
True, true.
Yeah, so I appreciate for your thoughts and
Thank you.
for your opening up. This is amazing. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's amazing. And actually, you actually gave me peace today because I wasn't at peace for the couple of days. And so this discussion gave me peace, and I started rethinking what I went through in
Well,
my
you
head.
guys, you can hear Ebenezer, right? What's happening with me?
I can hear you, Mika.
I started rethinking what I went through in my. You guys can hear.
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me, Mika? I can't hear you, Mika.
Let me say this, Ebenezer. I'm listening to you from my phone. I don't know
Okay.
why all of a sudden like my laptop cannot give me. I mean, it doesn't give me sound.
All
But
right.
yeah, I appreciate. Did you finish to share what you were sharing?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
All right. Then
Uh,
I appreciate. I'm having a little bit hard time to catch you, but I appreciate. I'll let you go for now, and I will have Melissa in as well to share his. No, okay, he left. Anyways, yes, I'll let you go, but I think Afriscrop might have something to share again. You can see him here. Let me give him a chance. Yes, my brother. Do you have something else to share?
One thing I remembered, there's a question on my mind that is, should we use war to enforce justice? Should we use war to enforce justice? It's one of the things I've been thinking about for quite some time now because I realized that war actually is just a chaos. You're just creating chaos and you are creating more problems, right? And at the end of the day, you have to fix those problems that you've created with the war. Okay, so I'm just wondering if justice related to war, should we have wars just to enforce justice? This is one of the questions I've been thinking about with regards to Africa, to be particular, right? So, I think when you're having issues listening I think it's because of the bandwidth. When the picture is very it's exhausting the bandwidth, it might actually you might have problem using the microphone as well. So yeah. So can you hear me now? Hello guys in the chat, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So guys, crime and corruption and instabilities, and let me just say, actually disrupt peace, right? It is a known fact. And if you are using war to kind of enforce justice, you are also creating more problems. And what we want to do is actually to solve problems, and we don't want to create problems whilst we are trying to solve problems. So is there any right way we can do it, or is using the war to enforce justice the right way to go as Africans? Because over here in West Africa too as well, we're having these people coming up with the divisive mentality, like being divided along ethnic line. They believe that being divided along ethnic line will actually help in the course of their development, right? But at the end of the day, we have a state which is regulating everything, and the state wouldn't allow that splitting to occur for several reasons. So this is one of the things that we are often confronted with, even in West Africa, that because of the poor development, people are resorting to politics to enforce division. And at the end of the day, we have the government or the state also interrupting or involving itself using war or using military power. So this is what we often see. But what happens next is that vulnerable people are getting killed, and a lot of vulnerable children are also left to their own misery. So this is the problems we are creating often over and over again. I would like to hear more from you guys.
All right. So I can say this AfriScript. I think you raised up really important points, but that we can extend to another discussion. For now, I just wanted to keep it simple and get your personal opinion about peace and justice. But that is something that you can bring up later tonight. I think we'll have here Ezra, and we can build from that as well to go a little bit deeper in this topic. So I really appreciate for sharing. Okay. Appreciate it. I'll have my brother here, Melese Nake. He's probably might be okay. I see my brother Ebenezer is here as well, just in case if I disappear. Yeah, Melese Nake, how are you, my brother?
How are you? Hello? Hello?
Yes, my brother. I wanna hear your point of views between these two things, between justice or peace. Like for you, what do you choose? You personally, in a personal level, what is your choice for you between these two, and why? Hello, you can't hear me?
More action is just a chaos. You're just creating chaos, and you are creating more problems.
I think okay. I think Malaka, you can't hear me. Can you try to speak?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Melake?
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You're muted. You mute yourself. You mute yourself, Melake. All right. You can say something. What is your opinion?
I can speak, but there is not the sound for me. But
There's no sound. But can you hear me? In Amharic. Oh yeah, sure. You can speak that. I'll bring Ebenezer. We'll try to translate what you share. Okay. There's Ebenezer here can translate.
Oh yeah, sure.
Ebenezer, you speak Amharic, right?
We'll try to
Yes, I can.
what you share. Okay.
okay.
I can translate.
Okay. ደህና ናችሁ ሚካ and Ebenezer?
How are you guys, Mika and Ebenezer? Sorry,
Then
guys.
you can go ahead and you can share your point.
መጀመሪያ ያው እንግዲህ ሚካ ታንዛኒያ ተወላጅ እንደሆንክ እናውቃለን። በጣም እናደንቅሃለን። ለዚህ ዋን አፍሪካ በሚለው ትብብርህ እየሰራህ እንደሆነ እናውቃለን እና በጣም ደስ ይለናል። I appreciate for you first of all.
So, Mika, we know that you're from Tanzania, and we appreciate what you're doing about One Africa in this One Africa Forum live show that you're doing. So, we really appreciate you. We love you.
በመቀጠል ያው እንግዲህ ፒስ ጀስቲስ ኦር ፒስ በሚለው ርዕሰ ጉዳያችን ላይ በመወያያችን ላይ ያው እንደ አፍሪካ ፍትህ ያው ያስፈልጋል። ነገር ግን ፍትህ የሚመነጨው ደግሞ ሁላችንም በአንድ ተባብረን ስንሰራ ብቻ ነው መሆን ያለበት እንጂ ዝም ብለን ዲፊኒሽኑን ብቻ ይዘን መሄድ ምንም ዋጋ እስከሌለው ድረስ በአንድ ተባብረን መስራት ያስፈልጋል ለሚለው ያው ይሄንን መልእክት ማስተላለፍ ፈልጋለሁ።
So, well, according to the title, what he's trying to describe is as an African and as Africa, we need a justice system that is actually quite fair and fine. But I would like to ask him the question myself because I don't think he understood the perspective. So, ይቅርታ መለሰ ሐሳቡ ፍትህን ትመርጣለህ ወይስ ሰላምን ትመርጣለህ? ያንተ ምርጫ ምንድነው በዚህ ፐርስፔክቲቭ ላይ?
እኔ የምመርጠው ፍትህን ሳይሆን ሰላምን ነው። ፍትህ ምክንያቱም ፍትህ በመሬት ላይ እየኖርን እያለን ያው ማንም ሰው ትክክለኛውን ህግ ተከትሎ የሚሰጥ እስከሌለ ድረስ ያው ከፈጣሪ ነው ፍትህን የማገኘው እንደ ግለሰብ ግን እኔ ሰላምን እመርጣለሁ።
So he says you choose peace because there is not going to be a really perfect as long as we're living on earth there is not going to be a perfect justice system. So I would choose peace over justice.
ምክንያቱም ያው እንደምታውቀው ወንድሜ አቤኔዘር በአፍሪካ ውስጥ ብሎም በአፍሪካ ላይ በአውሮፓውያን ሀገሮች የተለያዩ ግጭቶች ይነሳሉ፣ የተለያዩ ሐሳቦች ይነሳሉ። ነገር ግን እነዚህ ነገሮችን ሰላም ይሻላል ወይስ ፍትህ ይሻላል ለሚለው ሰላም ነው የሚሻለው። ፍትህ እኮ የሚያስፈልገው ያው ሰላም ሳይኖር ሲቀር ለአንድ ሰው መፍትሄ ለመስጠት ሲባል እንጂ ያንን ነገር ቅድሚያ ከመጣ ፍትህ መሰጠቱ አይቀርም። ስለዚህ ፍትህ የሚመጣው ሰላም ከማጣት ስለሆነ ቅድሚያ ሰላም መስጠት ያስፈልጋል ነው ለኔ ሐሳብ።
So in Africa we're living in Africa. So in Africa there is always fights, there's always war, there's always quarrel somewhere. So I would say because justice comes when there is disturbance of peace. So if we can be at peace all the time, that means it comes the first thing that comes in life is peace. So he wants to choose for peace and wants to stand for peace.
I think you raised a really important, point, but that we can extend to another discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Now I just wanted to keep it I really appreciate Melissa. I think that's really powerful point you raised. I really appreciate for your courage, first of all, to come and for everything that you shared. It means a lot. You can always come here. There'll be someone to translate and to share your point. That was really powerful.
መለሰ የት አካባቢ ነው ያለው?
ኢትዮጵያ
ነው። የት አካባቢ ነው?
አዲስ
አበባ ነው። ስለዚህ ሚካ ወደ አዲስ አበባ መምጣቱ ስለማይቀር ሲመጣ ተገናኝተን እንደዚህ አብረን ደግሞ ዲስከስ እናደርጋለን ብለን እናስባለን።
እሺ ያው በቃ ነበር ባለፈው ስትመጣ እንቀበላለን ያው እንገናኛለን ብለን።
እሺ so we will welcome you when you come to Ethiopia. So he's going to be part of the welcome crew in Ethiopia. He's going to be part of it. So I told him we will have a discussion with you just to be to socialize together with us.
ግን እዚህ እግር መንገድን የምታስተላልፍልኝ ነገር ማለት ነው። እግር መንገድን የምታስተላልፍልኝ አብኔዘር ያው ሚካ እንደሚታወቀው ዋን አፍሪካ የሚለውን ቻናላችንን ፋውንዴሽን የሚለውን ከፍቶ በብዛት እያንጸባረቀ ነው። ነገር ግን አሁን የአውሮፓውያኖችን ጫና ሞር ደግሞ ለመቀልበስ አፍሪካ ላይ መስራት አለበት። አሁን ኢትዮጵያና አፍሪካን ሀገሮች በጣም ሚቹዋል ሪሌሽን ከሌላቸው ጥሩ የሆነ ስራ ልንሰራ አንችልም። ስለዚህ አፍሪካ ሀገሮች ላይ በተለይ በተለያዩ ነገሮች መስራት አለበት።
Okay, so Mika, he wants to make a suggestion. He's really happy that you're doing this One Africa issue. So we should do more on about the work on the influence of the West on Africa by working together as an African and as African states with different states within, the things that we were discussing about interstate relationships and all those things. So we need to work on those things. He says we need to work on that, diverting the Western influence on Africa.
I try to speak.
Thank you, Melissa. But I'm now
በጣም ነው የምወዳችሁ።
እሺ እኛም በጣም እንወዳለን። So he says we love you and all right. Okay.
All right. Bye. Definitely. That's a good suggestion. I appreciate, man. I'm a second dollar. Good. I love you too, brother. I love you too.
The same thing.
Thank you. I love this guy. No. Let me. No, I have one more mission for you, Melissa. Melissa, can you teach me in Amharic how to say Happy New Year? How do I say Happy New Year in Amharic?
መልካም አዲስ አመት in Amharic. መልካም አዲስ አመት።
መልካም say መልካም
አዲስ አመት።
Mika. Melkam?
Man, that's difficult.
No, Melkam.
I'm listening from here, so it's kind of like it's a little late for some minutes.
Okay. Maybe I can write it in private chat for you.
Melkam.
Addis Amet.
All right. Okay. I see it. Melkam Addis Amet.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Ghost. I even show you Ghost. He wrote down for me. So, Melkam Addis Amet.
Okay, thank you.
And I remember Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas is Melkam Gena, right?
Melkam Gena, yeah.
Okay, now we need another.
Ebenezer.
አቤት
ዶሮት እንደምትወዳ ቃለው ግን እዚህ ስትመጣ በሰፊው እንጋብዛለን የተለየ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ በልልኝ።
So we know you like Doro with Mika, Doro, right? So when you come to Ethiopia, we'll invite you really nice Doro with in Ethiopia. Yeah. It's a national dish.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Doro, yes, Doro.
Okay. All right.
አመሰግናለሁ።
እሺ መለሰ በጣም ነው
That's
አመሰግናለሁ።
good.
እሺ
I love
አባቴ
that.
ሙሉ
I love that, Melissa. I love that. Thank you so
እሺ
much,
the same
brother.
to
Thank you.
same
I
to
can't wait to see you.
okay
I'm a second hour. Aishi.
እሺ
All right.
ኦኬ ሌላ ጥያቄ አለው የሚጠይቀን?
Do you have any questions to ask Melissa?
Oh no. That's beautiful. I'll ask more in person when I see him one day there in
Okay.
Addis. I'm very excited
Yep.
to see him, and I want to appreciate you, Ebenezer, for also translating that. I appreciate today's discussion is collective effort of Mr. Dr. Ebenezer. I want to put that out there. So I really appreciate for everyone who participated and what we shared about. Special thanks to Mr. Sadeke for for coming up with what we talked about today. That was amazing. I was having some behind the scene conversation with Sadeke, and I had a little bit of studying today, and then finally we had this conversation. I think it was really beautiful and powerful. The best thing that is going to happen is that I'll try to talk to His Excellence Ezra to see the discussion of 9 p.m. if we can continue with this discussion as well, because this is very important, and I think we need to extend to have a long conversation. And in the evening, maybe what we can focus on more is pretty much the same question, but also we can focus on how a lot of us will choose peace because we don't have trust with the justice we have in Africa, right? We think like there's no really justice. So maybe we can work on the ways, how can we have that justice? How can we restore that justice? And the other idea that Mr. Ebenezer brought it up, restorative justice. This is it's actually really good, right? It's actually really good because it's there to restore, just like the word says. It's there to rebuild, to bring back something beautiful, something that is not there, right? Or it was there and then for some reason it just disappeared. So we can, of course, you can answer the question, justice and peace, and also we can go a little bit deeper on how can we get that. I'll have a conversation with His Excellence, Ezra, and maybe we can extend that conversation later on. Yeah, Ebenezer.
Yes, I'm here.
Appreciate you, my brother.
No problem. Anytime. Did you hear me? I think you're receiving delayed response.
All right. Ebenezer, I'll let you go for now, and hopefully
Sure.
later on we'll be back here again. Ebenezer, Melese, Nake, and everybody out there. I love you guys, and yeah, I'm receiving a lot of delayed response. That's why. Yes. Look at that. My brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's good to see your smile again. I can't wait to see that face to face one day.
Can't wait. Maybe tomorrow. Right.
I love you, brother, for everything you're doing, in Ethiopia for this trip to make it happen. I really appreciate you. I love you, and God bless you, brother.
All right. God bless you.
All right. I appreciate it. Yeah, Melissa, I appreciate you, brother. Melissa is still somewhere there. Appreciate you, brother. Yes. Appreciate. Yes, that's another thing. It's as Sadeke said, I was really comforted to know that this conversation helped Ebenezer to be at peace. Definitely, me personally, I really appreciate for what Ebenezer has said. And this is just to know that a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people might be angry. A lot of people might maybe they lost hope, right? It's very interesting how like everything can go from there to here down just in a moment like that, right? That's why there's a need for us to have this conversation, because when we see our leaders make decisions, sometimes we might be mad at them that why you make this, why this and this, why that and that. But I think the best thing to do before complaining, before judging, before pointing fingers, I think we need to take a step back. Mr. Obang, I was reading his tweet. He was saying, calm down, don't panic. We take a step back and then we think about it. And then we have conversation. To Niger, he came here, he shared a lot of stuff that it's very important. And when you think about that, that any decision that you're going to make in this situation, it will cost something. You're not going to please somebody, right? If you choose justice, some people are not going to be pleased, and there will be consequences. If you choose peace, some people, they're not going to be pleased, and there will be consequences. And some other people, they're just following what other people say, right? If I say hey, peace, I say, oh, Mika said peace, I'll go with peace. But they don't really think in their heart. Some people justice, oh, Mika say justice, oh, Niger say justice, I'll go with Niger, right? They just follow like that. But I think it's important to take a moment back, to step back and to think about it critically, to take it from the ground level, from a personal level, what means a lot to you, right? I always say that God did not bless who you pretend to be. He blessed who you really are, right? So we have to dig down to ourselves. All of us, we have something that we appreciate more. There's something that is priority to us. Some of us, maybe peace is priority. Some of us, maybe, justice priority. But how can we bring together all these two sides? People who believe that justice is important, people who believe peace is important. We don't want to have two different groups that are separate. They say, we are for justice, or we are for peace. No, we want to have a group that will be together regardless of all these differences, right? Because we want one Africa. So how can we bridge these two different parts? How can we emerge these two different parts? Okay, decision has been made and things have already happened. Some people are pissed off. Some people are lost hope. Some people, they are mad. They want to do whatever they want to do. But how can we bring these people together again and mind them that, hey, guys, all right, this is what is happening, by having this conversation, by you guys sharing your points, what you feel about this, sharing what is important to you. So what is important to you, it might not be important to me. It might be not important to that person. And what is important to you might not be important for the country. You know what I'm saying? I'm not picking side. I'm not on any side. But the reason why we're having this conversation so that we may think a little bit more. We want to be brutally honest with ourselves. We want to have love in action, peace in action, and unity in action. And this means how to have unity in action as well, to have uncomfortable talk. Right? Talk about these things and to present our thoughts. We can agree to disagree, but we should always find a common ground. We should always have a place where we can come together and be united, regardless of our stands. And the consequences of what will happen, the best thing we can do right now is to pray that we'll have sustainable peace, to pray that our countries will be stable, regardless of the decision that leaders are making. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to make the decision. They will make it. And when they make it, there will be consequences. So we cannot wish for anything to go wrong, because if anything goes wrong, then we are all in trouble. Our wish should be for something to go right. And what can I do to make sure that something is going right? Decision has been made. So us as a citizen, as people, as African, whatever country you're coming from, what can you make to play a part of bringing about peace to your country, bringing about peace to your continent? What role, what part can you play? That's what we have to think about. We can't just stop whining like babies and crying and complaining without thinking, what are we going to do next? That is very important for us to think, okay, this has already happened. It has already happened. Is it the right decision? I don't know. Is it the wrong decision? I don't know. But what I know is the decision have already been made. Right now we can discuss, or you can think of, what am I going to do to make sure that my country has a sustainable peace, to make sure that my country has sustainable, have a stable also justice, to make sure that our people, they're living in peace, they're living in harmony with one another, to make sure that this tribe, that tribe, all of us are living together. That's what we have to be thinking about. And that is unity in action. That is unity in action. So I want to appreciate everybody who came here today. Definitely, definitely, definitely. As Ebenezer says here, but all decisions are be learned from. Definitely. There's something like, that's why at the beginning, you know, I say something that in this case, there's no right answer or wrong answer. That's what I say today, because it's very important to acknowledge that there's no wrong answer or right answer. Anything here can be right answer. Anything can be a right answer here. I say, like, I realized that I opposed myself. I say there's no wrong answer or right answer, and then I said anything can be a right answer. I confuse myself sometimes. But what I'm trying to say, I think what I mean is, I want to encourage you guys that in this case, as Niger said to Niger, that depends on the circumstance sometimes. Sometimes it depends on where you are. But each one of us, I wanted to know what is important for you. For me, if you ask me, I will say that my priority will be peace. That's what I would say. And I gave you guys the reason why, because I find myself in so many situations where I needed peace of mind. And just because I didn't have peace of mind, I had a lot of things that happened, right? But for me, why peace is important, because once I have that peace of mind, everything else fall under the place. For me personally, I can forgive, I can move on, I can work hard, I can do, as long as I have that, I can achieve anything I want to achieve. And I always say, my mama told me to forgive is to heal your soul, is to love your soul, right? So maybe it's just because of how I was raised, but that will be my priority. But it doesn't mean that I'm not standing for justice. It doesn't mean that justice is not there. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you tell me to choose, that's what I would choose always. Love, peace, and unity. All right, guys. This was a beautiful conversation. I'll see you guys later. I'll try to talk to His Excellence as well after this. But I want to appreciate for our ghost for giving a super chat today. God bless you. Thank you so much for always supporting and what you do. It means a lot. I want to appreciate Sadeke. I want to appreciate, to Niger, Afriscrop, I think Africa Scrop, if I'm not mistaken, Ebenezer, Melese, who else? For those who came here today and raised their point and raised their ideas, I want to appreciate you guys. I know you're busy, you have a lot of stuff, but I appreciate your insight. I'm always learning new things from you all. So thank you so much for joining. I want to appreciate for members of this family who support and help us to continue to stand and to move on. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I want to appreciate for all the comments that you guys commented here on Twitter, on YouTube community. I appreciate it. Helps me, a lot to come and to have this discussion after seeing what you guys are saying, actually. So I want to appreciate this. It's a collective work. It's for Africa. That's why I'm always having these, questions asking there. All right, guys, I love you so much. This will be the end for today. Continue to subscribe, continue to support, and always be there. I'm just going to pray and leave. God, I thank you for today. I thank you for the discussion we had today. I thank you for justice. I thank you for peace. At the end of the day, that's what we really need in Africa. Help us to have peace with one another. Help us, God, in our system and everywhere. Give us wisdom to be able to fight for peace and justice in our communities. I give you glory. I give you praise. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I appreciate it, guys. I love you. Love Africa. I hope you all do too. Bye-bye.